Are we live? It says we're live. Well, hello, feel goods. Welcome to Dr. Feel Good, where we get real about how the people around you can transform your healing today. But I mean, we usually just get real about how to transform your life and your wellness, whether or not you had a brain injury.
Yeah, I understand, Fru. I don't know how to not be real. You know, I don't get that one. I don't get that one very often. I'd like to say a big thank you to the people in the back, the people in the background that's done all this like technology stuff. Thank you.
Big
for all
shout
your help.
out to our sponsor, the Patrick Risha CTE Foundation, as well.
Those who made it all possible. You can go to their website at stopcte.org. Fru, I'm not real happy with the microphone lighting over your face. So move that out that way some. And now go talk in it and see if the shadow's on your face.
I don't have to talk in it.
Thank
It
you.
happens
Yes,
the
turn your
exact
head
same
towards
way. It's just
There we go.
That's what I tested earlier. That fixing it was just for the look.
Oh, just for the look.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
liked it. Okay.
So today we're diving into a topic that's part spiritual and part practical. Which one do you think it is, David? More so, is it spiritual or practical?
I think it's balanced.
It is about the power of your circle.
Yes. Our circle's really small, very small. But who we spend our time with, we were putting this together the other day, and the actual people Fru and I spend time with are not actually in front of our faces or touching us. We spend time with each other more than anything, and then everybody else that we spend more than a few minutes a week with is virtual.
Yeah, but the point is that even if you're talking about the people you spend time with virtually, they're still going to influence your way of thinking.
It's what you're putting in your ears,
living,
what you're putting in your mind, and
they have a huge impact on
I was excited to say that about 2 hours of my day was spent with the Word of God, which is Jesus. Mm-hmm. He is the Word. So I'm like excited to know that 2 hours
it's
a day.
It's a collection of a bunch of short stories from really brilliant people, which is a really, really good way of keeping yourself, in the growth mindset.
Because it fits. The Bible, those stories fit in every era of time.
Yeah,
every circle of life.
When I say this, I also have to say that assuming that you understand the context, you understand the underlying meaning, you understand the relationships between the stories and how
that's very important. It sure is for.
So, but another thing that's really important is to talk about why it is crucial to be selective with the people that you spend your time with.
Well, don't they say that you're like the 5 people you spend your most time with, you're kind of...
Yeah, you're like the average of
copy
those
of all
5
those.
people, yeah. But when you talk about these circles, most people think about, oh yeah, the toxic people, I got rid of the toxic people already, which is, I think it's really good, but I think it's due to dive a little bit
let's do it
deeper than that. So personal stories. Okay, what did you do with the toxic people in your life, David?
I dumped them in the toxic zone.
Right.
What did I do with the toxic folks in my life? Well, a lot of times, the people in my life in general are people I love and care for and are going to be in my life forever anyway. So some of those folks have toxic habits, and they're always going to be in my life. Family members, loved ones, exes, mothers of children, or something like that's always going to be in your life at some point. And so what you do with the toxicity is you set boundaries, and you make it very clear that this type of behavior isn't accepted, or I'll scream and yell at your face.
All
I
right.
kind of do that sometimes.
So I'm on a very different level
Yeah, you
here.
are.
People who are toxic, they have no room in my life. I don't care if they're the mother of any children or
you
the
have a
father
mom.
of any children, or
You have a
they're my
mother.
mother or they my father. If they're toxic, they have no room in my life. I don't care.
Now your mom was just here for.
Are you saying that my mom is toxic?
I'm saying she's done things that was toxic.
Okay, so you see,
That's what I'm trying to
so
point
you
out.
see, you
People
need-
do toxic
You
things.
need to read what we're talking about.
Oh, no,
here,
I don't wanna
because
read
there are
about
3
it.
levels, and this is not what this show is about. The toxic people you get rid of in your life just as much as I have.
Okay, you want to tell
Hey,
everybody how I
hey,
did it then. Go ahead.
Don't scream. It hurts my ears.
Who's screaming?
So you did.
Oh,
Okay.
No, it's not hitting the red button up there.
Yeah,
From the
well,
history
that's
button.
what
That's what I
happens in
scream.
my
I know I tested
ear.
it. When I scream, it
My
turns
e-
red.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
you
orange.
didn't test it on my ears.
Oh,
You tested on yours, and my ears hurt.
Has
from
you guys ever seen that movie or that show, Love on the Spectrum? Me and my wife are that show.
So, anyways,
Spectrum
that's the toxic people. Okay, what David
Okay,
was
explain it
referring
to me, yes.
what David
Please
was
help.
referring to earlier was the people who do not benefit you moving forward in your life. That's kind of like in between toxic and people who are beneficial for
I got
you.
you. So I just had them placed in the wrong place.
So toxic people, they have no room in my life. I don't care how I'm connected to them or related to them or none of that stuff. You're toxic, you need to go.
It's
I
like
don't
a
wanna spend
Tylenol,
the
right?
time.
Don't need it. Get it out of the
Well,
house.
Tylenol is like you take it when you need it, and then you try to avoid the situations where you need it. So that would be again kind of like in between in my mind. But
Okay, the
think
in-between
of them
people.
like heroin, or think of them like
An opiate. Don't
cutting
say heroin.
yourself, or like something that is okay for some people to do because that's how they deal with their pain. But
Oh.
a healthy person doesn't hang out with toxic people ever.
Okay, I get it. Now I got it. I
Okay.
was just trying to, place all this information in the right category.
Yeah, so there are 3 categories.
Where,
okay?
where
That's
you
what-
got them listed and I
That's
didn't
what
even
teaching.
read it?
That's what we're teaching to
I'm
people.
so sorry.
here.
And we're teaching you guys something that I don't know yet.
Well, yes, you do. You do it all the time.
Oh, yeah,
As a
I do
matter
it
of fact,
naturally.
I learned
You
this
learn
from
it from
you.
me.
So-
I hear
Okay,
about this stuff all the time.
So when
Thanks,
it comes to people who are in between, this is again, I'm going back to my example, and then you can share yours. So
That'll help me, yes.
that will help.
Yes.
That will help to
Help me get in
communicate
the
this
right
better.
place.
So for the people who are not toxic, but they're not helping me to grow, and those could be family members or they could be friends, people who I love dearly. Those people are gonna have a limited amount of time in my life. Like I'm gonna see them, I'm gonna ask them how they're doing. I'm gonna care for them the same way how I always cared for them. But as far as like how much influence they have on me and how much time they got from my time
I like it.
is very, very limited. So that could be like the mother of your child, if it's a nasty ex-wife.
Oh, I don't have nasty ex-wives.
I understand that you could put them into that category, but I
But
agree.
somebody might,
You don't have,
you know.
but you don't have a nasty ex-wife, so that's why I'm saying it's not. They don't fall into the toxic category, and they also don't have to be put into the dump category.
So there's what we're talking about right now are the get rid of, kick out of the life kind of toxic people.
Exactly.
A bad boss.
Exactly.
Like just how about
how about a jealous sister,
or somebody that calls, you've been friends for years and calls and just dumps all their negativity on you.
Yeah, that's all they do. They never do anything for you, but when they have to share something, about their life, which is always bad, then they just run to you because they kind of burned
That's
all
toxic.
of their other relationships because nobody wants to listen to them.
Or if you're moving up and advancing, they're not there cheering you on. They're not pushing you forward,
the
helping
jealous
you
sister,
become better.
They would like, what's the word, like tease you, like so to speak, tease you when you're succeeding in something, and like just kind of like always pointing out what you're doing wrong, and never really edifying you in
Gotcha.
any ways. What do you need over there?
Oh,
Did you want to push
I'm gonna
the
put
laugh
something
button?
here. Yes, here we go. Listen. Oh, I do have a laugh button.
Well,
don't
I
I?
was gonna say that you have to show me
I don't
that. 'Cause
think I
next
have a
time you
laugh
say
button.
something funny, I want to turn it on.
No, I don't. But I can censor
know
myself. I
what?
say, shut the up.
You know what we can do? You know what we can do?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We can record me laughing, and we're gonna
Yes,
use
I love
that
your
as
laugh.
a-
All right, I'm putting in the comments, you guys. I can see who's watching, and I can see your texts and comments. Please put a comment. Do we have a comment, a question that came in this week that like generated the idea for this show? Or
No, I read a book, and that's what generated the idea.
Alrighty,
I finished
so-
the book yesterday, and this came straight out of that. So, so basically, so this is kind of like why this is spiritual, because it's a lot like spiritual stewardship, like the way how you have to eat healthy in order to stay healthy, and exercise in order to stay healthy, and regulate your nervous system. You also have to regulate this energy that comes into your life. You have to protect yourself. So that's why what you were saying about boundaries, it's really true. This is a lot about boundaries, because we have to set different boundaries with different people.
Yes.
And that's the same thing applies to energies too. You guys, if you are in an environment, that's all negative, and you can't really change it up, you can still change up the influences by listening to podcasts, by reading the Bible, by I don't know, I guess
I think the Bible's the key. If people just get a little too religious when they hear about the Bible, or they read the Bible, if you can differentiate between the religious mindset and those who are taking the Bible and applying it to their daily life, I'm telling you, it's everything you're going through is in that book. And if you'll listen to it every day, like I just go to sleep listening to it, and I listen to it first thing in the morning for about an hour.
You're so right. And the more I talk to people, the more I understand how difficult this differentiation is that you're trying to do. Because the majority of the people who talk about the Bible, they then go out and ridicule people and hate on other people.
Well, not everybody. It's just the people that the people that get noticed talking about the Bible, or majority of them are doing that. But there's good people like you and I, our pastor and his family, the coolest, laid back, most. Like I'm happy to be at this church. You know that?
Oh, I am too.
Because they have the
yeah.
ability to, every seed reproduces after its kind. And they attract people like Fru and I, which are kind of wacky. And we like wacky folks. So, it's a great, I like people who have the Word of God embedded into them, and they apply it to their, not to their, hey, look, I'm a Bible quoter and this and this and that. The Pharisees are always going to be there.
Right.
But it's the wisdom behind Scripture. Like, my group of guys are a professional footballer, NFL player, and then a RFL player, a professional a football player from the UK. Those are in my circle that I speak to just about every day. And they hear me talk about scriptures and apply it to our conversations in ways that is unique. I think that if there was more folks doing that, there'd be a lot less.
It's really good, but really hard to relate to. Most people don't hang out with people like you, David. So let's go back to what else you can do if you're
dump them off
surrounded
at the
by
dump.
negative people.
Dump them at the dump.
No, I mean, if you're like 18 years old and you live with for example, you live with a bunch of negative people.
Well, you first of all, you do have to get something positive going in your mind.
Right. And so on that note, like, for example, if you
Podcasts are good.
Podcasts are good. Reading the Word is good. But you could also find a church with a pastor like ours, where then you could be a closer relationship with that pastor, or you could find a mentor, a spiritual mentor, like virtually.
Well, you think about like someone like my son's 18 years old. He's now in the world on his own, a man, and he's going to work 10, 12 hours a day with men who complain and gripe and ridicule him. He's 18, they're 40 years old. He can't have a truck like them because he can't pay, they got all this stuff and all these bills and all this responsibility. They're good at it, They've done it for a long enough time to have it.
Yeah.
And he's working the same job. I remember that day when I went and
me
worked
too.
for a labor
So,
union.
you know
and had
what I
all
used to do back then?
punch the wall.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I would use positive affirmations. I would go into...
Give me an example. Tell the world what positive affirmation would be good to use at this point. You're smart enough, you're bright enough, and gosh darn it, people like you.
Open channel for the universe to flow through me.
I am an open channel for God to flow through me.
My way is made smooth and easy.
My way is made smooth. The way is the truth and the light.
Everything I need is presented to me.
My foot is guided by a lamp. Do you know that? The same thing.
And every day and every way, I'm doing better, and better. Every day, in every way, and every day, or every day, and in every way, I am doing better, and better.
Amen. I remember you first saying that when we first met. You know that?
So whether you're sick, and you're surrounded by negative people who always remind you of how sick you are and how you're getting worse every day, or if you are like, Connor, who's like 18 years old and you're surrounded by 40 years old people, who always talk about what they have and point out what you don't have, you can go into this meditative state where you can visualize having all the things, that are available for you. The only thing that really separates you from is time and your discipline.
Just live long enough, drive that Nissan that gets 34 miles a gallon for about a year, and you'll have that other truck that they have, if they miss a day of work, they're screwed over. You'll have that ability to just walk. I got to take a whole week off. You know that?
Because God doesn't want you to lack. That's number one. And then number two, here is another kicker. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between reality and what you imagine.
Right.
So if you can imagine having the things that you feel you're lacking and are truly important.
I do it all the time.
If this is aligned with God's will, because you're not imagining things that you don't need.
Example, this studio, that camera, this visual you guys are getting, the audio you're hearing.
We've been seeing this for years.
Talking about it, broadcasting like I was some kind of pro for 6 years since you met me, and here we are. We got it.
Yeah, like
I lived like I had it already,
almost 7.
and suddenly,
and that's God's perfect.
And I didn't have, I didn't have to go in debt to get all this. If I would have got it back then, I would have. My mom and dad would have went in debt.
Right.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't have used it in the way how you're using it right now.
Absolutely.
So God's timing is always perfect. So here's a little exercise.
Be content in
for
every
you guys.
state of mind that you're in.
Think about the 5 people you spend most of your time
right
with.
now. Stop and think about those 5
And
folks.
if you're watching this as a recording, then stop the recording and write down the 5 names. And then after you inventory those people, think about what kind of an influence do they have on you? What are the questions that you should ask? Are they supportive?
Okay, now when you say are they supportive, there's 2 ways of being supportive. If you call someone up and you're having a stressed out moment and your brain is going nuts and every negative thought in your mind's coming out of your mouth, and they sit and listen to you and baby that and coddle it and make it okay, that's not support. That's the wrong type of support. So let's explain support in this situation. What would you do, Fru, if I called you up and I was having a very negative, my mind was racing and I was going through, what would you do if I called you up and just said, my life's done, I can't deal with this? How would you deal with me?
Well, in that case, I would just listen without saying anything for a while. And
how long?
Until you calm down. And then when you started to calm down, I would gently start to remind you of the good things that are happening in your life and the good things that you could be proud of or excited about.
I need some practice at this.
or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. If you call me, here's what happens. If you call me and you're having a negative blowout fit, I say, hey, shut, no, don't say that. Shut, be quiet. No, don't say that.
You guys understand why I don't call my husband when I need to vent.
Don't talk like that. That's terrible. Don't say that. You're such a better person. Things are going great for you. Yeah, I don't listen real well at negative stuff. I'm getting better, I believe, but
Well, okay, so the reason why I listen
I don't deal with negativity
without
too
saying
well.
anything, if you are negative, and this is probably a good learning curve for everybody, so I'm just going to say the reason why I listen without saying anything is because I understand that if you are negative and you're only focusing on the negative stuff, that means your brain is not working right at the moment.
Because I'm a very positive person.
And if your brain is not working right, then there is no reason for me to say anything because you're not going to be able to process what I am saying.
How'd you do that? How you get so smart?
From practice.
Well, start looking at the camera.
And so, but this works with other people too. Like instead of judging the person when they present you with all the negative information, how about you turn that judgment into curiosity and you just listen to and try to figure out why are they so negative right now, and then run through a bunch of questions in your head while you're listening. You don't have to listen to all the negative stuff they're saying. You're gonna know that they're saying negative stuff anyways. So just run these questions through in your head, like, why are they upset? Is this just frustration? Are they always like this? Do I have to do anything with this, or are they seeing the situation correctly? Is their brain
We're talking
properly?
About support. So as we're doing this, if you're a child of mine who have called me during these kind of moments in your life, we're not talking about you. We're talking about everyone. We all deal with these things, by the way, my children, just so you know.
Oh, and everybody's got brain deficiencies. Yes. That's the other thing that I would like to point out okay, because mental illnesses are so stigmatized in this word that you say somebody is mentally dysfunction and then they don't want to talk to you anymore because you're offending, somebody with anxiety or somebody with depression. And the reality is that the majority of people deal with brain dysfunction, and usually it's temporarily. So that's what we're talking about. How do you handle temporal insanity?
I'm so sorry, but I just realized that my computer fan is not plugged in, and I'm going to go plug it in before a disaster happens.
Okay, that's okay. I think I was going to move on to the next point here. The next question, actually, instead of the next point. Okay, so you have the 5 people on a piece of paper. And you're asking the question, are they supportive? So this is one way to evaluate that David just brought up. And then another question that you should be asking, are they pushing you towards growth? Are they pushing you to become a better person? Are they pushing you to become a better person? Like I don't like to sound too religious because I just don't like the sound of that.
Because we're not religious.
So if you're a better person, you're going to be a better Christian, you're going to be a better Buddhist, you're going to be a better whoever you are as long as you're a better person. But you should be focusing on bettering yourself, because if you are serious, even just as a Christian, then you understand that you have to renew your mind daily, and that means that nobody is perfect. So you have to know which areas you have to grow in. Now, when you know which areas you have to grow in, you're going to be able to answer that question better. Are these people helping me to become a better person, or are they pulling me back?
Good point, Fru.
And then if the answer is no, then it might be time to start to limit the time that you spend with those people and limit the influence. And you don't have to be scared by this, by the way. At all. So like I know that sometimes when you say this to people that you may have to change all the 5 people that you're talking about, it scares people, but in reality there is a system that you can use just like in any areas of your life. That's why coaching is so incredible, by the way, because when you try to achieve a goal, you may not know what system leads you to there, but a coach can teach you what that is like. And so in this case, what I learned, and I think this is a very, very good advice for anybody, is that out of those 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with, one is going to start to fade out every now and then. They're gonna get a new job or get into a new relationship, or their life circumstances is going to change, like they're gonna have children, or
They're just going to ghost you. Some people just ghost you.
yeah, or some people just decided that you're not a cool friend anymore. So anyway, so when they kind of fade, then you actually have the ability to make that conscious decision.
That's their moment and their opportunity to replace it with something better.
But like not just let somebody fall into
No,
that
no,
place.
replace it with someone better. Like the time that you would spend with that individual, you can choose now to spend on, if you don't have people around you that, you know, that you can connect with personally, you can go to a podcast that's good. You can read a book.
Mm-hmm.
That book can...
And I also have to tell you that if you do that, when your mind starts to focus on that particular area where you want to grow, you're going to be surprised that God is going to start to send the people into your direction who actually are able to help you.
Yes, he will.
With growing in that area. And all you have to do is you just have to make a decision. You don't even have to believe in what I'm saying. It's not a miracle. By after finishing our last episode, we know about the reticular activating system in the brain. Your brain filters information differently based on what kind of a system of importance you set up by focus. So like if you focus on surrounding yourself with positive people who will help you to grow in faith and become healthier, then your focus is going to be there, and your brain is going to filter information.
And I'll tell you one of
focus.
the things that I do that help this whole scenario work better. I focus on the positive things about each individual. Because there's going to be something off about everybody. No one meets eye to eye about everything, but you can always find the positive about every situation. So that's the first thing I do about everything.
And that is so important, by the way. The rewards for that kind of mindset is just, that's what people...
Could be why I'm still alive, Eddie.
Oh.
Could be.
I'm not, no doubt about it. So
where we at on that page?
So we're on 7, which is God's perfect number.
Call to action.
So this week, let's make it practical. And choose one area of your life where you need more positive influence. So that's also, again, you can do it in an inventory style. You kind of write down the things, that you have to grow in, and then you just pick one. That's the most important thing. You pick one. And by the way, discernment is a good, concept, a good thing to use. But also, when it comes to priorities, what you have to do is you pick the one area that's going to have the most influence on all areas. That's how you go by which one's the most important, because that's going to create the greatest impact. So you pick that one area where you want to grow. And then you're going to find a positive influence, which can be a podcast, can be a mentor, can be a supportive friend.
Yes, all of the above.
Or you can find positive affirmations.
There's no excuse in this society or this world that we live in today to be surrounded by negativity and that you don't have the chance to be. I mean, we are sticking 7 miles into the woods from the nearest town that doesn't even have a stoplight in it. 400 folks, and we have my circle includes an NFL football player, an ex-NFL football player, an ex-rugby league player, and soccer ball, and what else do I have in there?
From one of the greatest.
From Pennsylvania, I've got a foundation founder in Pennsylvania. These are folks that are specific to my circle that I go to in time of need. I go to for just to talk when I need to just...
Inspiration?
When I need inspiration. When, these people are my accountability partners. Mm-hmm. And I talk to my pastor, but that's not an everyday thing. I think if you got a really good pastor, there's no way in the world you're going to have enough time to have, to spend hours with them every day.
But then here's another thing.
Even every week.
Let me tell you about my circle, just so that I can give you guys a
and then I've got my
view.
wonderful wife all the way from Budapest. So there's no excuse what I'm saying.
I spend most of my time with my mentors, David Carson and Danielle Matthews. Okay, these are the two people who I talk the most with. And then I listen to my mentor a lot, another mentor, Fraser, in forms of videos and podcasts. And then the rest of my communication with people is all customers and clients. So, I mean,
very small
all
circles. Clients
and team members is what I try to say. So now it's not just that it's a very small circle, but it's also when it comes to the conversations that I have beyond my mentors, I'm writing all of those. Like, right. I am the one who decides what we're talking about.
Right.
So there is no room or space for toxic, conversations over there.
So you got all seats filled already. That's why I say, excuse me, save your opinion. All seats are filled. I don't care.
And you pick who your clients are gonna be, and you can even pick who your team members are gonna be.
It's time to quit. That's the air horn.
And
sound,
if you think you can, then you need to talk to us because we'll show you how to.
All right, we're on page. Hang on a second. I always wanted to do this. Page 2.
Comment below and let us know what you're focusing on this week, this month, this quarter, for the rest of this year or for the next 6 months or the next year, whatever it is, we would love to hear about it. So please comment.
Also, would love to hear where you're watching us from. We're just getting started in this broadcasting. We've been doing Dr. PhilGood for how long now? When did we start doing that?
This is more than 6 months now.
Yeah. Every Saturday now for 6 months. But now we're streaming live on all of our platforms and soon to be on Spotify, SoundCloud, and all the podcast platforms as well. So I'm excited to be able to broaden out a little bit. But, man, we have got some pretty big followings on our social media pages. And
we do?
Yeah, and I'm excited to start targeting it, using our smarts to get people to notice that we're out here doing this. I believe once we get their attention and they know we're doing this, that we'll have a lot more fun on here. Indiana's in the house. Anyone else? No, only one viewer. Stephanie, you're the only one watching live at the moment.
That is so awesome that you're here. And I'm sorry that I didn't even respond to anybody who came on my Facebook. I'm not used to this system yet.
It's over there. I got it.
So remember, who you let in shapes how you heal, and you should.
Did you hear that? Who you let in shapes how you heal. Let that sink in. Be careful. If you're broken in any way, if you've got a recent concussion, or if you've had a breakup with a girl or a boy or a woman, or you've gone through something you've lost a loved one, be careful who you're sitting around during that time.
Choose your influences wisely.
Because that's going to shape how you heal.
It will shape how you
Most
heal,
definitely
and
will.
it will shape how the rest of your life may be. So it's
how
very,
you
very
respond
important.
to these traumas in your life, and what happens afterwards leaves a mark. So
and
choose wisely.
Do we have an outro music here?
Oh,
Good.
I do. It's the same intro music. And
I am okay. Go ahead.
I'd like to stopcte.org at the end. You got this?
Well, that's why I asked for music.
Here we go.
I was going to give another shout out to the Patrick City Awareness Foundation. Thank you, Doug and Karen Ziegel.
Yes, thank you so much.
Go to stopcte.org and visit their website, see their mission. They're fabulous people. And they're one of the reasons that we are here today.
Give them a hand.
You guys got this. We're here with you. So we'd love to hear about what you want to focus on. Everybody needs to focus on something.
Next week we'll be here from Denver, Colorado, not in the studio.
At the same time.
Enjoy.
11/11.